You ever have one of those weeks where you feel like you did nothing? Right here. Welcome back to the Scale Builders Guild. Thanks again for watching. It's episode 91 of What's on the Bench Weekly. I'm only using one hand today. Not familiar with this show, it's where I take you through projects that I'm working on, things that are on the bench, things that are on the floor, things that are in the other room, things that just arrived via Amazon. Whatever it is, you're going to see it here on this show. Thank you so much for watching, and of course, if you're enjoying this show and you like to see how I've done something, hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already and ring that notification bell so you get updates anytime there's a new video from the Scale Builders Guild. Okay, first thing on the bench this week, it's the Jimmy's Buggy. Here it is. Huzzah! Back together. And quiet. That sounds pretty good. That is an acceptable amount of noise. Yes. All right, good. I did a full teardown on it. It is about as quiet as I think I'll be able to get it. I had to go and replace the skid because the skid, I busted it. I busted it prior to the comp even, actually. Something happened with the transmission. One of the E-clips popped off the night before the comp, which means I probably didn't seat it properly when I put it on the first time. So I had to go in and basically tear down the entire vehicle. I had to get at the skid, so pulled the skid from the bottom, and when I did that, I ripped off one of the actual mounting points for the transmission, which caused a lot of wiggle, and not in a good way. So couldn't do anything about it at the comp. Josh and I figured, it'll be fine. Wasn't, obviously, and led to some binding and some issues, and I think that's all been corrected now. I printed a new skid in PETG with a much higher infill rate, and from what I've seen on the internet, it looks like Brazen might actually have some machine skids coming for this project. And apparently, Josh is going to be opening up this project to everybody here in the next little while. So if you're interested in building one of these, Josh will have a link on his site where you can download all of the plans, all of the STLs, everything you'll need to make one of these. I highly recommend, if you don't already, learn how to TIG, because you could not braze this easily. It's been done. Guys in the build along did do it, but it required a lot more of the jigs to make sure everything held together every time you brazed. Another nice note on the panels, I don't know if you can see this easily, but they are really starting to patina nicely. And if you look carefully, you can actually see some of that green. So we're getting further away from polished copper and more towards Statue of Liberty, which is pretty interesting, I have to say. I'm really, really pleased with how that's all coming together. It's good. All right, that's it for the Jimmy's Buggy. I cannot wait to actually take this out and drive it again. Hopefully, we won't have any of those failures. Because this is a fun truck. Buggy. Car? Hard to say, really. All right, on to the next thing. Next on the bench, this little guy. This is the CR12, or I guess the replacement for that, the Bushido 12th scale. That's what this was. And now, thanks to Ampro Engineering, it's becoming a Ford XLT. I guess this is like an F-150 Ranger. Someone will tell me what kind of grill that is. But yeah, it's really starting to come together. It's brown now. I've got my first few layers of paint on there. These are, the grill and the bumper are all one piece. It's all black, shiny for right now. It won't be when it's all done. I'll probably do a flat clear on that. But it's really starting to come together. I spent most of this week kind of working on the interior, and it's hard to show it to you now because of this body being in the way. But I'll get some close-ups of this and share those with you. It's really starting to come together. It's looking really, really nice. And I did a little bit of flocking on the carpet, so it has a bit of a textured kind of look to it. some airbrushing to get all the detail work, but this all comes from Alberto. It's all 3D printed, resin printed, and the parts are amazing. They all fit absolutely perfectly, integrate into the body mounts for this body, which are, you know, that's really great. It all just kind of comes together really nicely and looks really, really professional. It adds a whole new dimension to this Blackfoot body. Yes, this started as a Blackfoot. And look, like the lettering on the tailgate, come on, that looks fantastic. It's so good. I am planning on doing some sort of stripe on this body to give it a bit more life and love, and I think it's going to look really good when it's all done. These are just some RC four-wheel drive 155 Wrangler MTRs. Is that the right name of these? Yeah, MTR. And I've just got some printed steely style wheels on there, but I think I kind of like that look, and I think I might just stick with it. Yeah, so far so good. Lots more to do. So many little bits and pieces just on the interior alone. I've still got badges to add. There's a whole bunch of light buckets that I've got to add to the front grille. I want to do something with the sunroof. I've got to add some windows in here. It's all going to come together slowly, just like all of the projects on the bench. Nothing's ever quick. I think because I spend like just too much time thinking about these things and trying to make them my own. This is a fun little project though, and I highly recommend you pick up these pieces, find yourself a Blackfoot body, get one of these Element Bushido 12 scales, and just go nuts. See what you can create. This is really super fun and not difficult stuff. Alberto makes it easy. Ooh, Alberto. Does everybody remember those ads? Put a comment down below. Of course, if you're enjoying this video, hit the like button. I think I already did that though. All right, on to the next thing. Somebody was asking for CUCV content, and here it is. Nothing really magical has changed. I glued all the tires onto the wheels, so that's done. Oh man, so much flex. Look at all the flex in that thing. That's crazy. I also put the front windshield in. I glued the seat in. That's it. No, I put a servo in as well, but it's not actually attached yet. But I just wanted to make sure it fit for clearances. So that's now in as well. Can I get the hood open? Yes. I still have a lot of detailing to do in that engine bay. Like, I've done nothing since the last episode that this was featured on. But here it is. Things are going to happen, I promise. Now I have a goal in mind. This one has to be ready for the GCM event that's happening in August. So I want to take this and show this one off to people and drive it on a trail. So I have to get it done for that. So there will be more stuff happening on this build soon. You can't ask for a better update than that. I mean, you could, but you're not going to get one. All right, well, that was a minute and a half. I wish there was more I could say about it. It's just, you know, it's one of those things. I've got to do some work to detail and finish some of these things. Even the door cards, they just got sort of like a loose kind of coating of paint on it. It's not even really like they're not done. So a lot more has to happen still. But trust me when I say that this long truck will get finished soon. And I'm looking forward to having it done because I really like this. I'm quite pleased with the progress, and you know, like it deserves to be finished and driven. So we're gonna do that. Oh, I got inner fenders for it. Did I have these the last time? I don't know that I did, but I have them now. So I'll paint those and install those for next week's update. All right, on to the next thing. New to me, and because I didn't really know when these were coming out because nobody told me, here's the new FMS FCX24M. And like Josh said on the news, I guess that name is sort of a combination of all the best competitor models. Anyway, nice hard body Range Rover Camel Trophy Edition. This is the 1981 Camel Trophy. Very nicely detailed body, full interior, not full depth, but still full interior. Reasonable looking wheel and tire combination. Very tiny. Another small offering from FMS. It looks pretty decent. I do like that it's a straight axle truck. It does have a metal ladder chassis. There's not much else to report. It's still got a 2-speed transmission. I'm pretty amazed at how small they're able to make all these things. It also, of course, comes with battery, transmitter, everything you need to get started. The power button's down here, which is actually, that's a nice little feature, instead of it being tucked up above. Full light kit on this one. Feels like it's got oil dampened shocks. It's got some really nice mud flaps on the back. Talk about mud flaps, my girl's got them. Yeah, but it's just a nice molded in color. It comes with all these sand ladders and accessories, and it looks pretty darn good. I haven't actually taken it out to test it yet, but maybe we'll do some sort of little running video with it. But overall, I'm fairly impressed with the level of detail, and the quality is certainly there too. If you're into the small scale stuff, which I'm finding myself less and less interested in these days, I'll put a link down below to where you can pick one of these up. The bumper is mounted to the body. It's all on a hinge mechanism, as you can see. If I had one complaint, it definitely tracks a bit wide. It's not really scale in that way, but you know what, for all intents and purposes, for a small scale RC, that does look pretty good. I'll follow up with a more detailed and, you know, actual running footage of this vehicle in a future video. All right, on to the next thing, and this is a how-to, hopefully. So you've all seen the H10 Optic. It's not new by now. It's been around for a little while. I started making a few changes here and there, and I documented all that in the previous episode, which you can watch right here. But what I wanted to do this time, because I couldn't wrap my head around the fact that the blue from the half wrap from Freaky Skins didn't match the blue of the panels. I couldn't get around that. I know I don't know, maybe it's just my own personal preferences, but I didn't really love where it was. So I started working on a new look using an automotive wrap, and that automotive wrap is right here. It's sort of a forged carbon fiber, and it's actually sort of a yellow tint, which I thought looked really, really cool. This is just from Amazon. It is an air release style automotive wrap, you know, adhesive sticker. Basically, it's a big decal. But the benefit to using something like this is that it is heat activated. You can use heat to warm it up and stretch it around contours and really have it adhere to all of those little ridges and edges and elements and really kind of make it look like it's actually on the panel, which is what I wanted to do. So I did that. It's very, very simple to do. Cut a piece a little bit larger. I'd say, like, I don't know, maybe 1 centimeter in overall offset around the size of the panel that you're going for. I ended up with the top panel, I ended up painting it. I actually ended up priming and painting the panel. I used an etching primer and then just Tamiya TS Black, just to really kind of give it a nice smooth surface to bind to. I actually also filled in the little tiny gap from where the injection molding pinhole is, basically, and filled that with some CA and then sanded it down. The roof panel, at least, you would see underneath it, so I wanted to make sure that you wouldn't see blue. I think I can probably, with the side panels, maybe, actually, you know what? I will end up actually priming and painting all of the panels black, because I don't want any of that blue showing through. Once you've got your template, once you've got your piece, it's really quite simple. Peel back the backing layer showing the adhesive. Once you've removed the backing, it's really quite simple. Just apply it to the actual panel that you're putting it on. Use a little bit of heat to get all the air bubbles out, stretch it around the object and into the edges, and then just kind of fold it over and trim it to make sure it fits accurately. It's really pretty simple. It's not difficult, and there are so many different patterns and colors available because these are wraps that people put on cars. So you could really go wild with this. This is actually a pretty wild pattern. I really think it looks cool. So that's going to be the whole vehicle, this black and yellow forged carbon fiber look. And then I'm going to add some flat black decals on top to sort of give it a bit of a livery look. And I think I'm going to be, you know, reasonably pleased with the end result. And that's it. It's so simple. And the great thing about it is that it is infinitely repeatable. So if you screw it up, you can peel all of this off and start again with a new wrap. I wish burritos were like that. All right, so there you go. Nice little demo with the H10 Optic. and a new wrap, which I think looks really cool. I'll obviously come back to this and show off the final version of the Night Customs interior. This is just another prototype that's in there. We've got another one over there that's all ready to be taken off of its supports and put back into this truck. It'll only be the 4th time that I've had to do that. So that should be coming soon, probably next week. Have you ever had experience using an automotive wrap on an RC or not? Put a comment down below. You know I love reading through your feedback, and I try to answer as many of those comments as I can. And if I don't answer them, Rebecca does, in my voice. All right, I think that's going to do it. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again next week.